angle. Van Egmond! And speed and Sam Kerr on the end of things. Worked routine. Poking horn! Australia head over heels about this team.
Hello and welcome to the Football Australia preview show of the Westfield Matildas versus Germany International, which will kick off on Sunday, the 11th of April at 12:05 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Got a great panel with me today. I'm joined by German two-time World Cup winner and assistant coach of Wolfsburg, Ari Hingst. I've also got Westfield Matildas midfielder, 78 appearances, 15 goals, and my old Mount Gravatt Hawks and Brisbane Roar teammate, Katrina Gorry. And finally, joining us from Sydney is former Westfield Matildas midfielder and the current Westfield Young Matildas head coach, Leah Blayney. First of all, Ari, great to see you, mate. It's been far too long.
Yeah, that's true. Good to have. I'm really happy that you have me here, and it's good to see you guys.
Also, Ari, just thanks for my new German nickname. I mean, in the last 24 hours, you've come up with a fantastic. I'm no longer Ich, am I? So in Germany, what am I known as?
Well, it was a misspelling when I put in the calendar entry and I spelled the Ursch. I have to say, though, you didn't even realize. I don't know if it's the age or if you're getting blind or something. So the German Ursch now.
I think it sounds so German. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Minnie. Exactly. Yeah. Minnie, fantastic to see you. Old teammates. It's been a while since we played at Ditmer Park. Congratulations on your pregnancy, upcoming motherhood. How's it all going?
It's actually really good. The first few weeks were a bit rough when I was still playing. It's quite ill, and my diet was whack, but now I'm on the other end. I've got a bit more energy and I'm just kind of enjoying it, enjoying family time, enjoying getting fat, and yeah, just trying to enjoy all of it before the baby comes.
And we've got a mini Matilda on the way, right?
Yeah, she could be one. I don't know. No pressure on her. Whatever she wants.
Excellent. Leah, like we were saying before we came on air, last time we saw each other, we ran into each other randomly at a Danish game at the Algarve Cup in Portugal. It's been a long time. Where are we going to run into each other next time?
Yeah, look, I'm hoping at another major tournament, Isha. I had a look back through some of my notes and I believe it was Denmark versus Netherlands was our last encounter.
It was. I remember I was standing behind the goal and it started absolutely pouring with rain. It was an absolute disaster for me. Great for you, though, in the stands. But it was a quality game from memory too. But look, let's crack on. Plenty to talk about. Huge international. Minnie, I'm going to start with you. Now, the last time the Westfield Matildas actually played was a 2-1 Olympic qualifier against Vietnam on the 11th of March, 2020. So 395 days between internationals is not ideal. As a player, how do you actually prepare yourself, not just going into an international, but an international against the second-ranked team in the world?
Yeah, I think we've all kind of stayed in contact as much as we can. It's not as if players haven't had game time. I think everyone's in pretty peak condition. I mean, I've been watching some of the girls overseas and I haven't seen them play that well in a very long time. So I think it's really exciting for us. Tony's had us together quite often whenever he can on Zoom. And I think it's awesome that we're playing Germany and the Netherlands. I think they're going to be a great challenge, and it's awesome to, kick off our first game in over a year against top-ranked teams. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see the girls.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Ari, I mean, you're not really going to want to be reminded of this, but after losing 2-1 to Sweden in the quarterfinal of the World Cup in 2019, Martina Voss-Tecklenburg said she had some terrible sleepless nights. And also that meant that the gold medalists from 2016 did not qualify for this year's Tokyo Olympics. How has the squad developed since that loss?
I think they're on a really good way. Well, you also have to say the World Cup 2019 wasn't the best result, but in all fairness, I didn't expect too much because there wasn't so much preparing time. Martina Voss was still coach with the Swiss national team. And so they only had a few months for preparation, which was not really ideal. And I think ever since the World Cup, they've developed a lot. Of course, COVID doesn't really help. I know it's complaining on a high level, talking to Australia not being together for over a year. The German teams at least could catch up every now and then with a lot of restrictions, but still at least get a few training sessions together. And I think what's really interesting to see is getting more and more young players in, getting to use to this high level and the speed of the game. And I think we're on a really good way. And even now, a few players are missing due to COVID restrictions, but it's still going to be a great squad, and looking forward to this match.
Who are the players to watch in this German team? Because as you say, you've got Alexandra Popp on one end with 110 caps, hugely experienced. But when you go through the squad list now, as you say, this is a huge transition period for the German team. I mean, this is trying to get some obviously inside information for us, but who are the next big stars of this national team?
Of course, I mean, I'm also a Wolfsburg coach, so I have to name Lena Oberdorf. You know, she's still so young, and she's probably one of the biggest talents that is out there, really flexible if it comes to midfield or a centre-back player. Unfortunately, Clara Bühl, she plays for Munich. She's not available due to some knee issues, but shouldn't be too bad. And there are some young guns coming in. You mentioned Alex Popp. Well, there's a question mark if she's available to play, because on the last match, Wolfsburg against Munich, she got a bad hit, and most likely she's not going to be available for Australia, but for the second match. And so it's going to be interesting. But also, I think that Martina Voss will mix up the team, because of you have to see there are a lot of matches for the girls. And what is the English word? The German is Belastungssteuerung. So you have to have an eye on the physical impacts of the players. So I think it's going to be a mix, and it's going to be interesting the way she's going to put the squad together.
Yeah, it's probably like player load management or periodization. I mean, now that I'm German, on my Ursh side of things, I can probably translate for you, Ari. Anything you need translating, I can translate. Ursh can translate. Ish has no idea. Ursh is all over it. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Look, it's exciting times, and I know I'll come back to you actually, Ari. But Leah, look, unfortunately, the pool of players that Tony was able to select from was slightly smaller than anticipated. Can you just explain why that was?
Yeah, look, Football Australia always going to put player and staff welfare and safety as paramount. And at this point in time, the medical advice and in collaboration with our government, it wasn't ideal for us to have a lot of players or staff even travel overseas during this period. So it's certainly something that is disappointing to some, I'm sure, but it also gives other opportunities to players who are also overseas, who may have left within the last couple of months, or who may have finished college over there, be in the college system, playing in the German league. And it's just another really good talent ID opportunity for those players, as well as Tony has flagged some upcoming activity in Australia for those W League players who are here. So I assure you there are plans in the works, and we're really excited about the future and the amount of opportunities that are going to be offered to everybody.
And look, let's not forget, there's Mel Andrietta, Tony's assistant coach based in Australia. So those two form a formidable partnership anyway. Tony said, I love that it's difficult. No team has a tougher schedule leading up to the Olympics. How do the players feel about, being away for so long? But what happens if it doesn't go to plan in this particular game? What happens if it doesn't go to plan in this game?
Yeah, I think we love a challenge. As Aussies, we're known to get up for the challenge. I think versing a lower ranked team for us, we don't seem to, get up for the challenge as much. So if you have a team like Germany on paper, we all turn up. We're all ready. And I think being away for so long, it brings that excitement into camp. I know we had a call the other night, and you could just feel how excited everyone was to finally be back together. And I think it's just playing the likes of Germany and Netherlands is super exciting for any player, and especially the players that haven't been in and around camp or played for the national team before. It's an awesome challenge, and we always seem to rise for the challenges, and especially for players that can't be on tour, just to see the Matildas back on TVs, I think is so exciting for us and for the supporters as well.
It's great. I agree with you though, Minnie. I'm just going to touch on that point. I definitely think, and something in our mentality probably, and I think Tony's going to be quite good for this, but we're great against really tough opposition, aren't we? But we tend to make it really, really difficult for ourselves when we go in as the favourite. And so I think, yeah, you are right. This is a great starting point, but maybe that's something that Tony can help us, that winning mentality. We have to do it every single game in, game out, no matter what the opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just spoke about us playing our last game against Vietnam, and the score being 2-1. I think that doesn't show our caliber of players or our playing style or who we are. And I think when we do play, the likes of Germany and the US, we really turn it on. We switch to a whole new level. And I think being away from the team for so long, it's going to go to a whole new level. I really can't wait. And for the girls to be away from each other for so long, to see how much they've developed, I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, so Ari, watch out, Germany. But I'll come back to you. You know firsthand that if you want to be the best, you not only have to play the best, but you have to start beating the best. Do you think the best place to be is Europe for players who actually aren't in the US national team, Ari?
I agree. It's probably right now the best place to be. For one hand, the W League, I think it's developing, but it's by far not where it should be. The season is way too short. You don't have enough challenges. So, of course, one option was to play Australia and America. But being in England, you have day in, day out, you have great training sessions. Every weekend you have a match, sometimes even Sunday, Wednesday, which is challenging. And you get to know a different culture and different style to play. And I think this is something that will bring the Australian team forward. Just look at Sam Kerr, for example, in Chelsea. I mean, I just watched her play firsthand when we made her with Wolfsburg. Not going to mention the result. But, I think for her development, it's been great. You can see she's developed a style to play even more. But I have to say, I totally understand, Katrina, that you're looking forward to this match. But my expectations for Australia in this match aren't too high. The mentality is going to be there, and each and every player is going to bring the best that there is on the pitch. But you have a new coach, he wants to play a different style. You haven't been together for 1 year. There's no chance that Australia is actually going to play together as a team as they should, because they've been in the clubs, they've played different styles, and it's always tough to come together with a national team and click right away because it's a different style. So my expectations aren't too high. I mean, hopefully, well, maybe they prove me wrong, but I think it's more mentality is going to be there.
Yeah.
But there's no way they can really pull out the game that Tony wants them to play.
Of course, it's the understanding, isn't it, Ari? And Leah, I'll come to you on this one. Exactly what Ari said. The ambition, the attitude, the excitement still doesn't necessarily mean that the performance is going to follow that up. Look, it would be great. All these players have played together for a very long time, but we've still historically struggled against European opposition, Leah. And we're coming up the second-ranked team in the world. So, that's still a big ask for Tony and the girls, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it certainly is. And as many touched on, we want to hit the ground running with this national team at the moment and with Tony at the helm. And for us to take on somebody like a Germany and Netherlands, it certainly is a step in the right direction for us playing competition like that more regularly. Our performance gap highlighted that there was a need for us to play higher quality matches against strong opponents. And this just reinforces that. So that's something certainly in the right direction. In terms of the playing group, yes, they've been playing regular football at a high level. Our messaging is around make sure you've just positioned yourself in the best environment possible. And that's different for all players. So I'm excited to see this group together. There's a strong belief in all of them as individuals and us as a collective. And, when it comes to the Matildas, we never say die. So I have no doubt that ambition and that energy certainly will be translated in our match.
I feel like every Matilda needs that tattooed somewhere, don't we? Like that's the legacy of it. Look, there was plenty more to talk about with the game. We're going to digress slightly because there was some big news last week in relation to the 2023 Women's World Cup. We're still 2 years away, but FIFA revealed the stadiums across Australia and New Zealand, so we can finally start planning our travel. But more importantly, our wine tours.
Through the Matildas and through the FIFA Women's World Cup, we believe that we can not only bring our vision to life, but we can bring the Australian community, the Australian nation together.
To share my excitement about having it here in Melbourne, and I know this unique sporting opportunity, the whole city will certainly get around the event, and I'm really excited to see the response from the community.
Super excited that Perth is one of the 5 host cities that Australia has on the book. So look, on behalf of Football Australia, we are super excited that we can actually call this event a truly national event that will deliver benefits for football from East Coast to West Coast.
To have the final played right here in Sydney Olympic Park is a huge win for our great city and our great state. I couldn't be more pleased, and I want to thank everybody involved in the process.
Now, Ari, I'm going to come to you first. You played for the Newcastle Jets and Canberra United in the W League. So you played all around Australia. What were your fondest memories of your time down under, and which was your favourite city?
Okay, first of all, I've mentioned it before, like 2000 Olympics in Sydney. That was the first time when I touched ground in Australia, and that's the moment when I said I have to come back. So I was really happy to make that happen with Newcastle.
And on that, just on that, Ari, and you whooped us in the first game 3-0 in Canberra.
We actually did. So Canberra is a really nice
I was
stadium
there.
to play. And
I was there. I was there sitting on the bench going, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Hi, Germany. Thanks. Thanks for that.
For us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great start for you. Yeah, great start. Thanks for that, mate.
I have to say, obviously, Canberra Stadium is a great one, but I love the sun. I love the beach. So Australia isn't a bad place to be. And it's hard to pick one particular place. But tell you what, when I heard that the World Cup is going to be played in Australia and New Zealand, I was probably one of the happiest Germans ever. And I have no idea which way I'm going to make it, but I'm definitely going to be out there, going to catch up with some friends again, and of course watch some soccer, because that's what I'm there for.
Ari, come on, you're going to be there working on it. Of course you are. You're a TV superstar. You know this. We can't wait to see you back on Australian soil. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, exactly. Ursh and Ari. We're done into Ursh and Ari show. Minnie, look, you may have timed this perfectly. Becoming a mother and then the potential of playing on a home World Cup. How does the pressure of competing at home differ from the pressure competing away?
Yeah, well, that was kind of in the thought process of maybe miss the Olympics to potentially come back for the World Cup. It gave me a bit more time. So I'm really excited about it. I think playing at home in front of friends and family is always really special, but to have such a huge tournament in Australia, and with football just growing so quickly in Australia, I think it's going to be really special for all of us that can try and stay around and hang on. And to finally have a game in Brisbane, I missed the last one. So I've never played here. I haven't played here for a long time in the Aussie colours. So to play at such a big tournament like that, and to have it in your backyard, I think is super exciting for all of us. And I haven't really been able to explore New Zealand either. So I'm excited about that. I think it's such a beautiful country from what I've heard. And yeah, I just can't wait for the world to see what we have here, because it is really stunning.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And can you imagine all your family on Caxton Street getting boozed up before the game in Brisbane? Any games in Brisbane, Minnie? I mean, it's exciting.
It'll be long before the game. I'm not sure they'll make it to the games, but that's all the part
I definitely
of it, right?
will. I definitely, exactly. That's all part of the experience. Ari, I'm going to come back to you, because you experienced this in 2011. You were tipped to win the World Cup on home soil, had that quarterfinal loss to Japan. Just how difficult is it to deal with the weight of expectation of playing in a home World Cup?
I have to admit, we totally underestimated what was coming for us. We knew it would be big. We knew it would be fantastic, because we had the Men's World Cup in 2006. But what actually came down on us, we never expected it, and we were overwhelmed. And the emotions were running wild. And unfortunately, we were never able to actually play our full potential. It's definitely something we learned about. So on one hand, it's a big chance. And like you said, there's nothing better, Mimi, to play in your home city and the crowd's cheering you on, and you know your family is going to be there and all eyes on you. This is going to be the best experience ever. But there's a lot of pressure, and it doesn't come easy. And so far, it's never been a home team winning the World Cup. So, oh no, I'm wrong. 99.
Oh, come on, Ari.
Come on, Ari. Oh my God, how could I miss that? But it is definitely challenging. So it's enjoy, but also high pressure. And you try to prepare for that, but I don't think you actually can.
Maybe we need to get you on board, Ari, as like the preparation, the home World Cup preparation coach. Yeah, the motivator, just to help us all out. Look, really exciting. We're still a couple of years away. Let's get back to the game at hand. So big game, as we spoke about. Leah, how do you think Tony's going to approach this match? Ari was talking about maybe the rotation of squad with the German team. Is it a case he's going to put out his strongest 11 and see how they deal with the pressure of this match? Or will he look to make as many changes as possible?
Yeah, look, from my end, I think he probably puts out his strongest 11. I think we touched on before the lack of contact this group, our top level group, have had in terms of playing together and playing high level competition. So what not test to see where those girls who are performing in their club space as well and reward that in this match. So I would think he would go with our strongest 11. In saying that, potentially he doesn't and changes it up and uses the opportunity to blood in some of our younger players or our less experienced players. But I think certainly with Germany being a benchmark team, I think let's see where our best are at and give them that opportunity to excel.
I was going to say, what a baptism of fire if he throws in some of the youngsters in there. Minnie, how do you think he's going to approach it? Strongest 11 putting out against the number 2 ranked team?
Yeah, I think pretty similar to what Leah said. He's probably watched, game after game of everyone at the moment and probably past games as well. I think it's pretty unfortunate that some players can't be over there at the moment, and as well with COVID as well. I mean, I would have loved to see Ellie Carpenter back on the field. But yeah, I think he'll go with his strongest 11 to see where they're at, and then put some exciting players on, hopefully as subs, and maybe get their debut.
Yeah, brilliant. Ari, let's go the other side. How do you Germans generally approach playing Australia?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it's you go out there to win it, right? And you do the same with Australia. And I think the balance so far is good for the German team. I don't know the statistic, but I'm pretty sure we haven't lost yet. And I don't see that coming on the weekend. Sorry, guys. I know.
Who decided to invite Ari on? Who got Ari on? Who invited Ari on? What's going on?
The 1v1. When you come out to the World Cup, bring your boot.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it on. I love some competition, some challenge. No, I mean the German team is on a good way, but like you said, Mimi mentioned it before. If you want to develop, you have to play the best teams there are in the world, and definitely Australia has done a really big step forward. What is interesting about this team is, I think for me, Australia, they didn't always have the best tactics, but they have so great individuals, and sometimes you wouldn't know what's happening, and the mentality and different style. And I mean, the lifestyle of Australians is like, what's up, May? What's going on? And that's kind of the way they play. I don't mean it in a negative way. I think it's positive. So it's challenging because you're most likely not going to see the best organized team on the pitch, but with really great individual skills and sometimes doing the unexpected, and that's a big challenge. So it's I can't wait to see this match.
Do you think that's changing? I'm just going to touch on this, Ari, because obviously what we saw, Tony's impact on the US team and how they were able to, and he is very, very articulate and very precise in his tactics. And surely this is the opportunity. And I'm not saying that our previous coaches weren't, of course not, but we've got a double World Cup winning coach in charge of the Matildas now. That's huge. So are you seeing that he could change that mentality, maybe that laid back mentality in us of getting that structure and maybe discipline? Maybe discipline is right.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. I mean, you've already had a European coach before in Katrina, and she tried to change a lot, and that totally failed because she tried to change too many things. So you can't change the mentality or stuff like that, and you can't put the structure outside of soccer. You can't have too many rules. That doesn't work. Of course, you have to play some rules on the pitch, but I think it's important to find the right balance. The players should still feel like themselves, and that's a positive thing. Like I said, the laid back mentality, you shouldn't lose all of that. So I think the question is going to be, how good is Tony be able to find the balance? If he finds the right balance, then Australia is going to be really great, because I think there's still improvement when it comes to the tactics and the discipline. But like I said, don't overachieve. It's interesting to see.
Minnie, I'll throw to you here. What are your thoughts on this topic of conversation?
For what I've known of Tony and the conversations I've had, I think he's going to be a really exciting coach for us. I like his winning mentality. He's spoken about that a lot since taking over and speaking about playing, top opponents. So we're challenged and we can pick apart our game and refine it and get better that way. I think he's obviously showed that with the 2 games that we have and constantly being in contact with us to let us know there's challenges coming and we have to adapt to anything that's thrown at us. And I think that we've done that pretty well with not being together for so long and just hitting the ground running. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game, and I think interesting to see how the game develops over the next couple of years under him.
Yeah, absolutely. Leah, just finally to you on this, because I think what Ari was saying, maybe with that European influence when Hesterina was in as coach, but now a lot of our players are actually playing in Europe. Yeah. So the day in, day out, they are getting used to that type of attitude and that type of application. And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, as a collective, we might not be as fluid as we would like to be moving forward. We do have time on our side at the moment with what our aspirations are towards, obviously, Olympic success and World Cup success. The girls being in Europe at the moment, that's going to provide a variety in opponents and even individual players' styles that they come up against. So that level of tactical flexibility, although it might not have been going on in the national team space, they're all spread out across a variety of clubs who may have a different playing style to what they're used to. So already there's work there being done for the girls individually, and then the work behind the scenes that Tony and his staff have put in to keep the group connected and make sure that things are in place has been phenomenal with what he can do at the moment.
Yeah, well, exciting times ahead leading up to 2023. Of course, we've got the Olympics beforehand. That's all we've got time for, but let's get a quick score prediction from each of my guests. Ari, I'm going to throw to you first. What's your prediction?
3-1.
always knows what's very definite answer with Ari. 3-1, right?
3-1. Here we go.
3-1. Here we go. Germany's in. Minnie, come on, throw one out there.
I'm going to back my Aussies. I'm going to go 2-1.
Ooh, yeah, nice. Leah, what's your score prediction?
I'm going to go 3-2 with Australia being the last one to score.
5-goal thriller. Oh, can't wait. This is going to be excellent. Thank you all, Ari, Minnie, Leah. It's been fantastic to catch up with you all, chat about this game. And look, it's not long now until we see the Westfield Matildas in action against the second-ranked team in the world, Germany. If you're in Australia, you can watch the game live on Fox Sports, on KO, on ABC, and via the MyFootball Live app. So make sure you don't miss this out. This is going to be a huge first game in charge for Tony Gustafsson and the Westfield Matildas.
Welcome to Campbelltown Sports Stadium. It's a big night for the Matildas. Australia playing a competitive game on home soil for the first time since the 2006 Asian Cup. Can they find an angle? Van Egmond continues her wonderful tournament.
There's confirmation the coronavirus has reached Australia.
Australia won't send its team to the Olympics this year, with athletes today told to prepare for the Games to be postponed for 12 months.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
I can announce the host country of the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023, Australia, New Zealand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Tony Gustafsson, the new Westfield Matildas coach.
And I always work with a slogan or a quote that I call "One Day Better." What distinguishes stars from average is the singular drive to achieve and improve performance. And if we together can create a culture where we always want to be one day better and not just one day older, I think we have the chance to take this team to the next level.